Hi, welcome to Tarot Tuesday. Today I'm talking about the strength of using compassion. I'm using the Storyteller's Tarot deck, and the reason I like this deck is each card is actually a story from mythology, different cultures across the world, and so that is how the moral of the story kind of shows through the card meaning. The card is Strength. And on this card is depicting the lion with the red eyes. It's a story from Somalia, actually. And it says that there was this village that raised lions. And this one lion was born with red eyes. And of course, they were afraid of him. They didn't understand him, thought he was weird, different. And so they rejected him. This lion went off to live by himself. And then one day, the village gets attacked by a monster. Now, this lion with the red eyes knew that he was different from the rest of them because he was actually stronger. He had a skill set that would benefit this village. And so, with compassion, he returned to kill the monster and save the village. And of course, they're grateful. They embraced him. They understood, oh my gosh, you're different for reasons. So sorry. All the good stuff. So, what it's saying is a couple of things. First of all, although the lion had the physical strength to beat this monster, it was the strength of his compassion, his willingness to forgive this village for rejecting him, for not understanding him, for giving into their fear of him being different. So it took compassion for him to come back and help them. And that's what it's saying, that if you have compassion for other people, compassion to forgive their misunderstandings, again, we're not talking about abuse. We're not talking about being a doormat. We're talking about even self-compassion, right? If this village had, tortured him and abused him, it would not make sense for him to go back and to save this village. It would make sense for him to go find a new village. So we're talking about, the slights that people do against us, often partners, people that are close to us, our friends, coworkers, and being able to have compassion. Compassion is about understanding. It's not about excusing the negative behavior, right? If they're mistreating you, that's different, have boundaries. However, if they are simply ignorant, they're fear-based. It's like having that friend that doesn't believe in your holistic stuff, right? Like, oh, herbs and supplements, I'm not doing that. I'm going to a doctor for everything, right? And they go to the doctor, and there's a time and a place for the medical. I completely agree. However, sometimes doctor stuff doesn't work, or medications comes with a ton of side effects. And so eventually his friend comes to you and go, look, I tried all the medical stuff. Can you tell me about the holistic stuff? Like, are there some herbs or supplements I can take for this problem? Because the medical stuff just didn't work. And with compassion, you understand that they were, ignorant in the sense of they didn't know what you know from experience, wisdom, knowledge. Maybe they were taught differently not to trust that, holistic herbal stuff. So with compassion, you forgive them for rejecting you. Oh, I don't want your ways. And then you help them. You do the right thing. So that's what the strength of compassion looks like. Because again, you could just be like, nope, you didn't want to listen when I, offered, and you thought I was weird and strange. You didn't want my holistic stuff. So now I'm not helping you, and now you can suffer. That's not compassion. That's actually not strength. That's the weakness, giving into your own ego that says, I was slighted, so now you deserve to suffer because you hurt me. And that ruins relationships and isn't growth. So if you need help with compassion, forgiveness, I know that's a very hard human trait because we get hurt. Our ego gets wounded in a lot of ways. If you need help with that, go ahead and reach out. I can do some spiritual coaching, and we can look at really helping you release and find the strength in using your compassion.